tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new Hot Toys MMS 211 Mandarin from Iron Man 3. A character that really has received a lot of polarization recently. You either love him or you hate him. Personally, I really liked the Mandarin in this, and I was very excited about getting this figure. As you can see, very nice packaging with an image of the Mandarin right here with this nice green motif. Come around to the side, you got the Iron Man 3 Mandarin. On the back, you got a nice camo design, as well as all the warnings and credits and things like that. It is a slip cover, well, not slip, it's one of those shoebox ones, so you just slide this off, taking the top section off and away, and then you have this nice little insert here with a bit of a recreation of how the television looked when the Mandarin would break into television broadcasts. Taking this away from it, and here you have the actual figure. You can see his chair in there, the figure, the various hands, and then you take this out, and just opening this up so that you guys can see everything a little bit better. Then you got the stand and everything right inside there. So since I'm already this far and he's already falling, let's get him open up and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have the Mandarin opened up and out of its packaging. And while the figure itself is absolutely phenomenal looking, at $215, I more or less don't really feel like I'm getting that value. The biggest reason is because he doesn't really come with a lot. In terms of his accessories, this is all that you really get. Much like all other Hot Toy figures, you do get their stand with the adjustable cradle. It has Iron Man 3, the Mandarin. You just plug this in, and then you can extend this up so you can display him standing if you really wanted. He does come with 2 extra pegs for his wrists that I just keep in this little baggie. And then you got a couple extra hands. You have a relaxed sort of left hand, one where he's kind of just waving, I suppose, just kind of hanging out there. You have one where he's on his right hand where he's pointing. You have just a regular right fist, and then you have another relaxed, well, kind of relaxed, his thumb's kind of flailing out there on his right hand. Now, all of them look terrific. Zoom in so that you can see that a little bit better. You can see that he's got rings on all of his fingers, which is absolutely perfect. That's the way that it should be. They are the same on the right hands, obviously, and then you come to the left hands, and they're the same as well, as you would naturally expect. Now, the character of the Mandarin got all of his powers primarily from his rings. They all held mystical powers and things like that, and each ring did a different power. One would like absorb light, one would shoot out beams, I don't know, all this crazy stuff. But I'm glad to see that they actually included the rings on the character itself, because it's very essential for this Mandarin character. He does come with a nice pair of sunglasses. They don't fold or anything, but you can see they are actually really nice, and you can see through them, so that's really cool. But there's that. And then his biggest accessory is his Chinese style chair. And this is, I guess, where they're getting a lot of the accessory money for him. It's an absolutely gorgeous chair. There's a lot of very nice detail in here, and it very nicely captures the look of wood. I'm really, and don't get me wrong, I love the chair, but I'm really not liking the fact that all of his accessories just pretty much went away just to give us a chair. Now, don't get me wrong, he looks great sitting in it. But again, I'm left feeling like $215 not necessarily was wasted, because as I said, I love the figure itself. I just feel that I'm really only getting about $180 worth of the stuff here. But coming to the figure itself, as I said, this thing is stunning. All the amount of detail that goes into his robes is simply beautiful. You can see a very nice, very floral pattern here on the actual robes itself. Absolute wonderful detail on the sleeves. All these extra little bits that are put onto the sleeve is in addition to just what's embroidered onto it. I mean, that's really stunning looking, gorgeous. And then you open it up, and the inside has that same gorgeous artwork and floral pattern all the way throughout it. Absolute gorgeous cuffs right up here. You got the hood that can't come over. Although I wish there was like a wire frame in here, because when you just have it like that, it's kind of big, and you don't really get him. I guess you could do it like that, but I don't know, kind of keeping his head down. It just doesn't really come down as much as I would like it to. But that's very, very cool. And again, absolute gorgeous material done on here in the back. You just flip this back, and it sits back here very nicely. It looks very nice. Like I said, I just wish there was a wire around it. He does have, when you come around here to the back, zooming in so that you can see that a little bit better, he does have the Captain America shield on the back, tattooed onto his neck. And the only real reason, from what I've gathered, that that's there is it's a symbol of anarchy, and it's a symbol of the United States. You know, Captain America is a symbol of the U.S. And instead of the normal A, it's the anarchy symbol for A, which I dig. I think that's really cool. And that's the only real, I guess, Easter egg for that. And honestly, one of the best parts about this entire figure is the likeness to Sir Ben Kingsley. This might be one of the most incredible, accurate looking sculpts and portraits that I have seen on a Hot Toy figure in a long time. That simply looks stunning. That look is just absolutely wonderfully captured. His beard is very thick. Not much you can really do about that. But it does limit some of the posability with it because it's not very flexible. But everything on there is really very nicely done. And as I said, probably one of the most incredible portraits that I've seen on a Hot Toy figure in some time. If you wanted to, you can remove his robe. You just push his arms back and it just slips out, but I don't know really why you would want to, unless you wanted to see how he looks without the jacket on, but he's got some fuzzies on there. This is what it looks like without the jacket. It's nothing too super, I guess, but great detail on here. Now, for his articulation, like I said, the head is a little bit more limited. You can't get a full downward motion because of his beard, but you can get him looking left and right. He does have the neck joint down here as well as the ball joint of sorts up here at the top. So nice range of motion there. The arms move in and out. They rotate all the way around. They rotate at the upper part of the bicep. They bend here at two joints here at the elbow, then straightening that back out. You do have the wrist articulation. You also have the forward and back, whichever you want to do. You got that funky pin that's in there. Then for his waist, he does have two crunches here. Let's see, you got that upper one and a lower one. It does rotate, but because of the clothing, it is a little bit more limited when you're trying to rotate it around. The hips forward and back, but again, the pants kind of get in the way and don't have a lot of give in them. They can move in and out, but again, the fabric kind of hinders that. There's two joints here at the knee. He rotates at the boot, and the boots are very stiff, so you're not going to get much toe action going on or ankle tilting or anything like that. But look at the embroidery here on the pants. That's simply stunning. Nothing on that side, but that is really very cool. I mean, you could see that that's a really nice Chinese dragon. Absolutely amazing looking. And then when you want to put his robe back on, you just take that, slide it up. Now, much like the character of the Mandarin in the Iron Man 3 movie itself, this figure is kind of an enigma. Everything about this figure I absolutely love, except the price tag. I really don't feel that we're getting a $215 value. For me, I'm more comfortable looking at this figure at about $180, maybe $190. That's about the price that would make me happy with them. Now, despite that, the figure, as I said, is outstanding. The detail work on the cloth is just stunning, and the portrait of Sir Ben Kingsley is just out of this world. It ranks up there as being one of the very best in my entire collection. But what's kind of funny is while the Mandarin character itself is very polarizing, I could see this figure being that way as well. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm absolutely thrilled and ecstatic that I have him in my collection. When he's sitting there, he looks absolutely cool. But I think the characterization of the Mandarin in the film is really going to put a lot of people off to this actual figure. And that makes total sense, and I absolutely understand if people aren't going to want to get it because they didn't like the way that the Mandarin was portrayed. For me, I liked it, and I absolutely hope and pray that at some point in time we get more of Trevor, and I got my fingers crossed that that whole Trevor thing was just a ruse in of itself, and that the real Mandarin will eventually show up. But all that being said, I still do recommend the figure because I think it is a wonderful representation of that character. But just know that the price is a little bit higher. And I'm willing to accept the fact that we may be paying a little bit more because Hot Toys might have had to pay a little bit more to get the likeness rights for Ben Kingsley. That's entirely possible. So I do recommend the figure. if you're an Iron Man fan, he's almost essential to have as one of the bad guys. So if you are interested in picking him up, go ahead and click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to Sideshow Collectibles where this guy's in stock now, and you can add him to your collection today. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Keep in touch with me. Find out recent purchases as well as all upcoming video reviews all at facebook.com/teambotimus, and follow me over on Twitter at twitter.com/optibotimus. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.